It's showtime.
Hello and welcome to Musical Lyrical Lingo with your hosts Tim
and LJ. Today and every week we will be talking musicals and specifically what they told us. Yay!
Yes! I did it! I closed my eyes this time.
Well done, you.
I officially graduate. I no longer lead the opening script.
That is good. Go you.
It's only taken 18 episodes.
But you did it.
Honestly, people are going to get sick of this now.
No, they're
Not the podcast,
Oh, right,
just me having a freak out over our intro. But anyway.
I love it. Yeah. Well done, you. I feel very
Thank
proud.
you.
I feel like you need a sticker.
I definitely need a sticker. And a good slap. As most people who know me would say in life, it just needs a good slap.
Oh.
I'm still dying, but anyway.
I know, you still got your wee cough.
Still got a little bit of a tickle. I'm alright. I'm going on holiday next week.
No, I don't lie it. You didn't put any leave in.
Tough. I am going on holiday next week.
Could you imagine if I was like, sorry, the podcast comes first, you're not allowed to go on holiday?
You'd be looking for a new co-host because I'm going. I don't care what you say. Listen, we all know that you didn't get on your camping trip.
No.
So we're terribly sorry about that.
I know. But I am going on holiday in September.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Chicago.
Oh, well, there we go. Come on, babe. We're going to paint that town.
And when I get there, I'm going to sing Schmacango.
That's Smigadoon, which I still haven't watched. And you know what? I'm raging because I obviously got a new phone like 3 months ago.
Did you miss out on the deal?
I missed out on the first 3 months free deal. Because my plan was wait until the summer when I have a bit of time. But because I've been doing project, I haven't had time until now. And then it popped up on my phone yesterday. Today is the last day, and I don't know why I didn't there and then go, oh, I'm stupid. Like, I need a good slap.
I know.
People say this.
See, you shouldn't put off things. Slap.
I'm a wee bit awful for that, though. That's a real bad trait of mine.
Been to the gym?
No. Okay. I've been doing projects for the last 2 weeks.
And then you'll be on holiday.
And then I'm going to lovely Italy. I'm going to Italy next week. Yeah. I might not return because I might have melted away.
Oh, that's right. It's very hot there.
It's really warm. I'm not going to complain because it's going to be a lovely holiday and it's a bit miserable here. But I am slightly concerned that I'm going to be one of those people.
Just plenty of sun cream. Please promise me you'll bring sun cream. Oh yeah,
no, I've got factor 50 plus.
Good.
The custard, as I call it.
Put it on regularly.
Cold jelly and custard. Put it on regularly, and I've got a few hats as well.
Good.
So I'll be sensible enough.
Just drink plenty of water.
Yeah.
Okay. And take shelter and shade.
Yeah.
And don't try and do anything too...
No performances at the Coliseum. No. Raging.
No.
I was hoping on doing my one-man rendition of 42nd Street. Well. Shucks to that.
Love it. Well, I'll allow you to go on
holiday.
Yeah.
Gee, thanks. Awfully. What am I going to do? Maybe what you should do is get another... No, this is a bad idea. I was going to say you should get another presenter in next week when I'm not here, and then I should get a replacement for you when you're not here, but they might be better than us, and that could be the nail in the coffin. And then they would
take over.
Not happening. So we'll just stick to our...
We'll go on break. We'll have a wee break.
You said we were never having breaks.
I know. Maybe we won't have a wee break.
No, not a chance.
We'll do it. You can do it in Italian.
I can't speak Italian, as you know from previous episodes when I've tried to say things in Italian.
We'll work around it. It'll be totally fine.
Fine. Shall we talk about what we're doing? The musical we're doing this week?
I suppose that's what we're here for, isn't it?
It is indeed. Is it worth the waiting for?
You are good at this.
Till 84. It's because I've literally just done this show.
I know, and I think maybe you should explain. So explain.
Yeah, so as you all know, I've been doing a youth project with 160 odd children for the last 2 weeks, where we had to put on a production of Oliver. So It was not planned this way. Literally, when we sat down to talk about this podcast, Musical Lyrical Lingo, we literally just did a big long list of musicals that we would want to do.
Yeah.
So we just have the list and we literally are just working our way through the list. We haven't changed the order or anything like that. And it's really weird that Oliver has come up next.
I know.
And I've just finished Oliver. So you were very good, LJ. You did text me the other day going, well, you had forgotten what was coming next, hadn't you?
Yeah.
So I got a text from Lauren going, what's the next show? And I was like, Oliver, with that emoji where like you're covering your face, the hands are covering the face. And you were very kind. You were like, well, do you want to just leave that for a while? But I said, no, let's do it while it's fresh.
Yeah.
So Oliver is a coming-of-age musical with book, music and lyrics by Lionel Bart. And the musical is based on the 1838 novel Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens, one of the best books ever written. It's one of the best stories out there. No wonder they turned it into a musical. It opened in the West End in 1960, where it enjoyed a record-breaking long run, running for 2,618 performances. It then opened in Broadway in 1963 and is one of those musicals that has just had numerous revivals. So it's had London revivals from 1977 to 1980, then again in 1994 to 1998, and then 2008 to 2011. And I think it's had a UK tour recently too.
Yeah, and I think actually Broadway they might be doing like a workshop of it at the minute.
It's in the Lincoln Centre, I think.
Is that what it is? We keep seeing little snippets of it on TikTok.
Yes. Well, I've seen the snippets on Instagram because I'm not on the TikToky.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it was made into a feature film in 1968. The film adaptation, which won a massive 16 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. So Oliver delves deep into the underworld of London and organised juvenile crime gangs of the Victorian era, with classic characters such as Little Orphan Oliver, pickpocket Artful Dodger, gang leader Fagin, and a prostitute with a heart of gold, Nancy, and it follows Oliver's journey from the Victorian workhouse to finally finding his home with the rich, aristocratic Mr. Barlow.
Who's his?
Brownlow, not Barlow. It's not Coronation Street.
He is a relative.
Who is actually his grandfather. Yeah. So there we go. That's Oliver. Done? Okay, great. Bye. See you later.
Could you imagine? You'd be like, okay, I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. I can't. I thought I could go through with it, but I can't. It's too much.
I can't do it. I have ate, slept and breathed this musical for the last 2 weeks.
But I read nothing but wonderful things about it.
Oh, it went really well. Like, the kids were fab. It's a really hard thing to, like, put a show together in a week.
Yeah, such a short period of time.
Yeah, and the majority of the kids only worked from 10 to 4 every day, with numerous breaks throughout the day. So it's not a huge amount of time, but they do it every year.
And they don't know each other. You know,
no,
it's
the
like
majority don't.
They all just sort of audition to be in it, but it's not like it's a stage go that you've just come in and...
over 400 children from across Northern Ireland auditioned.
Whoa.
And 160 were in the production. So, yeah.
Wow.
Huge. It's really huge in the biggest theatre, certainly in Belfast.
Well done you and all the production team and everybody involved.
Well done the kids. Yeah. They were fantastic. And they learnt a huge amount. Like, it's really interesting, and just reminds you that as we work through, the project, there were bits and pieces in the different numbers and different lyrics that these kids were having to learn that we were finding ourselves having to explain. Do you understand what you're singing? Do you understand what that means? Yeah. Do you understand what this line is saying? So it just shows the premise of this podcast is spot on. Lauren, congratulations for the idea.
Thank you.
Back to us, though, because we're the most important people in this whole shebang. Do you have any musical lyrical lingos for all that?
I do.
What did it teach you?
Actually, a good number of things.
Fantastic.
So, in the wonderful food, glorious food, that I didn't know what gruel was.
Ditto.
So it taught that. Bill,
what is gruel? Do you know what gruel is?
it's like a porridge, like a yucky porridge.
Yeah, thin, liquid, like oatmeal. Do you know what's in it? Or what was in it back then? No. This is going to make you boke. Oats, milk, water, and onion. As soon as I heard that onion, I was like...
Yeah, the onion doesn't...
No, thank you.
Doesn't sound appealing for that. Then it says... So in Food Glorious Food, it has...
Food, glorious food.
Bill of fare.
Yeah.
That is a menu. Of dishes that are served. So not a menu that you can choose. Like... just a set menu thing. Yeah. So I didn't know that that's what that meant.
That's called a bill of fare.
A bill of fare, yeah.
So when you go to a set meal, you're actually going to a bill of fare.
Bill of fare, yeah.
Very good.
Is it CADGE? CADGE, okay. And that is to ask for, but you're not strictly entitled to it.
A bit like begging, isn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, it's slightly different, isn't it? But yes.
So the lyric is, there's not a crust, not a crumb, can we find, can we beg, can we borrow, or cadge?
Yeah.
Which I always, when I was a kid, singing that, thought it was catch.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I always thought it was too.
Just us making the lyrics up.
I think it was just us making, or we'd just got the wrong lyrics.
Yeah.
A bit of that. Savalois or sausages.
Yeah.
But they're like a specific type of sausage, aren't they?
I
like red or something?
I looked them up on Google. They look disgusting. Highly seasoned.
Yeah, I think they're, do you know a bit like how we have food in Northern Ireland, which is just Northern Irish food? I think Savalois are typical like East End, like London, or around London anyway.
Like jellied eels.
Yeah, I think
Savalois and jellied eels.
Yeah, I think like they get them in the chip shop and stuff. Oh. So for us, like pasties.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's not the same thing, but it's similar.
I wonder, do they do a battered Savalois?
I wonder.
That might make them look slightly better, because they don't look great.
They look almost waxy, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Like pepperoni or pepperami gone wrong.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But they're quite thick.
Are they? Oh, the ones I saw were thin.
Oh, maybe were thin. Oh, maybe, yeah.
I've maybe just looked at the wrong Google search.
Maybe you can get just different.
Whoops.
Oh my gosh.
There's the outtake for this episode.
Oh dear goodness.
Did you have peas pudding?
No.
I'm trying to move on really quickly.
I know.
Well, peas pudding was one of mine, and actually my other half's. So they went to the gala performance of the youth project and leant across and said, that's a musical lyrical lingo when it came up. So peas pudding is truly revolting. I looked it up on Google too. It's a savoury pudding dish made from boiled yellow peas, water, salt and spices, and often cooked with bacon or a ham joint.
Yeah, I've seen it, and I know people can get it in like cans and stuff.
Well, they were in Tesco's.
Oh, hey.
And they saw it. Sent me a screenshot of it.
It's like mushy peas and stuff. I'm not a fan of it. I like refried beans, which would be a slightly similar consistency, but I don't like peas. And
I love chickpeas, you see. So I kind of thought these like yellow peas might be similar, but they look too mushy. I love a chickpea.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, but no.
But I love hummus, that's why.
Yeah, no.
Peas pudding doesn't look like hummus, guys.
No. Also, it was the first time I learned about indigestion. Indigestion.
Cross your fingers. I've just come off my tablets for indigestion, so I hope it doesn't come back.
Oh, yeah, Love Hearts are really good.
Love Hearts are really good. Yeah. Well, I'll get myself a packet of Love Hearts, just keep them in my pocket.
That's it. That's what I have to do.
Yeah.
Rather than being on stinking medicine.
Yeah. And like,
we don't condone that, just,
there's only
whatever.
So much of the Gaviscon that you can have, like,
exactly.
without...
Don't want to have that chalky mouth. I know. Yeah, terrible. Okay, anyway,
people love us going off on a tangent, Lauren. It's fine.
I know, but not whenever we're talking about
indigestion. It's your fault. It's your musical lyrical lingo.
I used to say that was the reason why I needed to eat so much, was because of my bad acid reflux.
There you go.
But my husband said it was just an excuse for me to eat more.
Rude. Absolutely rude.
Anyway, Oliver. Yeah, the actual song, Oliver.
Oliver. I'll just start each one with a wee singing because it's so fresh in my head.
Okay, you do that. So, gluttony. I learnt what gluttony was, and then from there I learnt that there were 7 deadly sins, and gluttony was one of them. So it kind of led on to a different conversation.
And for anybody that doesn't know what the gluttony, one of the deadly sins is, what's gluttony?
It's like overeating.
Yeah.
And then
surely we're all like
gluttonous in different ways.
At some point.
Yeah. I don't necessarily think it has to be just on overeating. Can it be on different things as well? Or is it mainly just for food, gluttony?
It sounds like a foodie kind of thing, doesn't it?
And then Gail being spelt as Gaol.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Because you used to being Jail.
Yeah.
And then that also made me, whenever I was older and then knew about Crumlin Road Jail in Belfast, I knew that it was Jail because of Oliver. So that's...
I didn't. I still called it the Gail.
The Gail.
Crumlin Gail. No, that would be Jail, Tim.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
Oh, yeah. I seen a production of Macbeth there.
Oh, classy.
Yeah, in about maybe 2005, 6 or something like that.
I went recently, like within the year, this last year. It was really cool. I really enjoyed it.
And then I've got Consider Yourself. And City Yourself. Also, with that, is it Consider Yourself? Yeah. Did we do that song in a pantomime?
Probably.
Right. I very vividly remember a dance routine. Now, it's not like me to remember a dance routine that wasn't part of our dance troupe, which we did constantly.
Yeah.
But I will, like, even whenever the song's going on, I'll still do this. Wonder, can you remember? See, this is why this needs to be filmed.
Yeah. No. Yes. No, you're right.
Yeah.
Because I remember that too.
And then
scissors. Wee scissor step. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but you didn't do like an upstage, downstage, Oliver?
No,
okay.
No. We'll come back to that. So Larder Days, that's where I learned about Larder being a dry food store, and that the grouse is like a large bird. That people would have eaten, or people still eat. Mm-hmm. Then I Do Anything, fisticuffs.
Yeah, fisticuffs.
For fighting.
Fisticuffs?
And then from then I just knew that Timbuktu was really far away, so somewhere near China.
That was one of mine too, and I thought it was a made up word. I didn't realise that Timbuktu was actually a thing. So it's in the city of Mali, situated 20 kilometres north of the Niger River.
Oh, so it's in Africa? I thought it was in China.
No, I think it's in Africa. I googled it. Another one.
Well, you're probably right. I just think everywhere's in China.
Timbuktu. I just thought it was a made up. That's when would you lace my shoe? Paint your face bright blue. Go to Timbuktu, and then it goes,
and back again.
And back again. Very good. Who's your musical lyrical
No, I've still got more. Right.
Holy moly!
I've got two more. I've got two more. Papa, that gratis means free.
Yes.
I just didn't know that word also meant free.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I just love that in the song Reviewing the Situation, Claridge's is mentioned.
I'm reviewing Fagan's swan song, his last number in the show.
Yeah, I think is that.
I will own a sweet to Claridge's.
I'll come back to that on like a question about reviewing the situation.
Okay.
But yes, I love that Claridge's is mentioned because that's a wee special place. And
what is Claridge's for anybody that doesn't know?
It's a lovely hotel, 5-star hotel in London.
And you've stayed in Claridge's, haven't you, Lauren? A couple of times? Couple of times when you've gone to London?
Yes.
Yeah. No slam in the ear.
Nope, absolutely not.
Very good. Well, I think you had so many musical lyrical lingos because, like any child on the planet, Oliver's like one of those ones that you're introduced to quite young in life, isn't it? Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Those type of musicals, we always have loads more musical lyrical lingos because I'm the same. A few of the Food Glorious Food ones I also had. Then in That's Your Funeral.
Yes.
Which is when Oliver is being sold by Mr. Bumble. He takes him to a funeral parlour and the undertaker says he was born undertaker's mute. as in M-U-T-E. And a mute was basically a paid mourner who was paid to keep vigil outside the house and then lead the funeral procession. And it says in the script about how Mr. Salisbury, the undertaker, doesn't want to use Oliver for normal practice. He wants to use it for the child's practice. So if a child passed away in the Victorian era, they would have tried to have a child mute who would have led the funeral procession. So I didn't know any of that.
That's
First of all, that being a primary school teacher, I know that, God bless the poor children of the Victorian era, had many a job, chimney sweeps, the lot. But I didn't know that of that one, or I was introduced to that one through Oliver. Yeah.
That's good.
I have a very close relationship with Oliver and the Artful Dodger in particular. Because I played the Artful Dodger when I was like 10, I think. And I learnt when talking Cockney, you don't pronounce the H where there should be an H. So, for example, instead of saying, I happen to be a particular favourite of Mr. Fagin, he would say, I happen to be a particular favourite. And then you put an H where there isn't an H. So, for example, I ain't got no intimate friends. So rather than intimate friends, it's intimate, or where's the other one I've got?
Is it like an I is almost an H?
Well, where there's an I, you put an H in front of it. Okay. So another one is, I also didn't know that Beak, B-E-A-K, was a magistrate. So Artful Dodger says, don't tell me you don't know what a beak is, my flashmate. My eyes, how green. A beak is a magistrate for your information. So there's another one where the H comes in front of the I. So I learnt that. Gin.
Yeah.
Shut up and drink your gin. I didn't know that that's what my mother was drinking.
Oh.
Yeah. That she drank the same gin that was in Oliver. Oh. Yeah. And the children were drinking gin in the Victorian times.
Well, it's better than the water.
Yeah. Then in It's a Fine Life, Nancy sings about gin toddies are large measures and now skimping if you please. Yep. I didn't know what a gin toddy was. Do you know what a gin toddy is?
It's the same as a hot toddy.
No? I don't know what a hot toddy is.
What? Timothy, you surprise me week on week. How have you not had a hot toddy?
But I don't like warm alcohol.
I know, but if you're sick, actually, for your phlegm from a phlegm, for your cough, you should have a wee hot toddy.
I might try one tonight. So a hot toddy for anybody out there listening, wherever you may be, a gin toddy in particular is 40 millilitres of gin, 50 millilitres of hot water, 20 millilitres of freshly squeezed lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of honey, and maybe a wee cinnamon stick with a slice of lemon or orange to garnish. That's a gin toddy.
Yeah, well...
Which is quite a sophisticated drink for Nancy. I wouldn't have thought she'd have been so la-di-da and uppity. There's a cup of tea.
I suppose for things like that, it's used as a remedy. So all of the, like, you know, your lemon and your honey and your cinnamon would be more widely used.
Yeah.
Because they're natural products. So they would have been able to get their hands on them maybe a bit more. I don't know.
I much prefer gin with a tonic, to be fair.
Yeah, me too. But your hot toddy then is whiskey and coffee. Hot water.
Oh, I didn't know that you put the coffee in with the whiskey. I thought it was just a warmed whiskey.
No, that's what I do.
I can't do whiskey. It's the one.
No, I can't. But if I'm really sick, I will take a hot toddy. Yeah.
And can you get it down? It's a bit like a hot lemon sip. I gag and everything. I'm like, ooh.
Maybe is that why I have the coffee in it?
Maybe to disguise the taste
really
of it. Yeah.
I really can't.
I've tried whiskey, and even if you're out like having a great wee night and you get onto the cocktails, right? And you get a cocktail with whiskey in it, and I haven't realised there's whiskey in it, I will immediately suss it out and be like, oh, I can't actually drink that because it's got whiskey in it.
I do not like whiskey at all.
See these people who just sit and drink
like my dad,
a thing of whiskey.
Jamie would do the same, and Aaron. Like Aaron's a massive like Jack Daniels fan. I can't stand the smell of it.
Our Adam loved like the hot Jack Daniels, like the spicy
the cinnamon one?
the cinnamony one, until he totally like drank himself out of it. He can't touch it now, can't even smell it.
I'm pretty sure Aaron did that too with it.
There you go. And my last musical lyrical lingo before we go down another tangent. Drink responsibly, folks, please.
Yes.
Thank you. Know your limits and stop. There we go. That's our public services announcement. In Papa, she sings loads of different verses about different characters around the place. And one of the characters she sings about this girl, and she says she was from the country, but now she's up the gum tree. Do you know what a gum tree is?
No.
Now, we staged it that she was pregnant, basically.
Okay.
And that's what I always thought it was. Like, the gum tree means you're pregnant.
Yeah.
But gum tree actually is a very difficult situation that you can't get yourself out of. So I don't think it necessarily means you have to be pregnant
as such,
but you're in a difficult situation that you don't know how you can get out of it. That's a gum tree. Up the gum tree.
Because up the country means you're living a good life.
Yeah. So she was living a good life, and then she got herself pregnant, which meant she was in a situation that was very difficult.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So
interesting.
Those are my musical lyrical lingos.
I love that you were still learning.
Oh yeah, 100%. Every day's a learning day. Every day's a school day, folks.
It's brilliant. That is.
But what was more important over the last 2 weeks was the learning that the children did.
Yeah, that's it.
In sharing our knowledge to a new generation of musical theatre kids.
Oh, I love it. That actually warms my heart.
I know, it's great.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not an art form that's dying anytime soon, regardless of how many art cuts there are.
No.
Try stopping, young people singing and dancing. It's not going to happen.
We'll be there with placards if it does.
Hear, hear. Hairspray style.
Here, I have some facts. Do you have any facts?
I have a few wee facts, yeah.
Do you want to do facts?
Yeah, we'll do facts and then do memories.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, Oliver, whenever, obviously the book is much darker.
Yeah, it's Charles Dickens, isn't it?
Which
he is a bit dark.
Real life, sort of.
Certainly of that time, he was very good at depicting what life was really like for Victorian Britain.
So the reason that people really love Oliver and maybe don't find it as dark, and we'll talk about that, is because it's all seen through Oliver's eyes. So it sort of seems sweet and innocent, but it's brutally honest about workhouses, orphans, and just poor situations for some adults. And
they had to really lighten it, didn't they, for the musical?
Yeah, though I still don't think it's a light musical.
No, it's not. But if you look at any films of Oliver Twist or any TV, it's one of those ones that just like every couple of years it gets another TV adaptation. Yeah. But they are all so dark and gritty and violent, and which is what our first topic in school is the Victorians, and it was a really difficult hard time to live, but I think they had to. I mean, they were going to have kids singing and dancing. They were going to have to lighten it a wee bit, weren't they?
Yeah.
But
I think it works because you are seeing it through Oliver's eyes. So all of these things that he has been introduced to, he doesn't necessarily know that Bill is very hurtful towards Nancy. He just, maybe thinks he's a bit controlling or anything like that.
Although, the diseased rats are bringing the plague in here. I'm dying a death in the corner. That was a line from the show. Oh. The diseased rats threaten to bring the plague in. It's a fine life.
Okay.
Sorry, no, I am coughing and spluttering. I do apologise to the listeners. I'm okay.
Okay, Michael Caine auditioned for the original Bill Sikes.
Yeah.
Love that. And also the line, so the wonderful Oliver Reed was Bill Sikes in the film, and his aunt directed it.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
But the line in Do You Love Me? Where Nancy says, do you love me? And he says, of course I do. I'm not going to do the accent. Of course I do. I live with you, don't I? Yeah. That was, and Oliver Reed came up with that.
Okay.
Because he overheard, in the East End, overheard a slightly ruder version.
Okay.
Where bloke said to a girl, of course I do, I something you. If you can just know what I say. And because he was a method actor, he sort of stayed in character. But yeah, he came up with that line.
Yeah, and part of that method acting was he decided, and the director decided, to keep him away from the children.
Yeah.
So actually the children in the film were genuinely a bit scared of him because
he was always in costume.
Yeah, and he was in character as well, but there was a distance between him and the kids, which I thought was really interesting.
Did you know that Shirley Bassey was considered for Nancy?
I did not. Mm-hmm. I'm not so sure that would have worked.
They didn't think that people were ready for a black Nancy.
That's really sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a shame.
They're my facts.
Do you know how long do you think it took for them to record Consider Yourself in the film?
Gosh.
That dance sequence of that musical number. Probably the biggest one in the film.
6 days.
3 weeks.
Shut up.
I know they spent 3 weeks filming that one. I know you'd have been so bored of it, wouldn't you?
Because it's not like they're just doing it for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
One day. They probably were.
That's it.
Constant.
Endless. Totally endless. Although I know filming's quite slow and probably even slower back then, but still. And then Mark Lister, who was Oliver, his voice wasn't actually up to snuff, so his singing was dubbed by Kathy Green, whose father was the film's music arranger.
I did not know that. No,
so it's not his voice you hear in the singing parts.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. And then this blows my mind because the music is brilliant in Oliver, Lionel Bart's music, but amazingly the composer Lionel Bart could not read music himself. So from his earliest days in the theatre, he would sing his melodies to a trained pianist who would write it down on sheet music.
So there's hope for me, yeah?
There is hope. There's hope for us all. Yeah, it's just whistle a happy tune and someone will write it. Get the right person and someone will write down. And then I love the other wee trinket of a fact I found out was, you know, the bit in the film where Oliver oversees Fagin basically having a look at his secret stash of treasure.
Yeah.
Exactly. The director, who just sounds amazing. Like, she sounds really cool. I think she's a massive part of why that film's so brilliant, and you can just watch it over and over again. She wasn't happy with Mark Lister's reaction to seeing the treasure. So unbeknownst to him, on another take of that part, she got Ron Moody, who is sublime as the Fagin, and there has not been a better one since, and he played it on stage as well. He came from stage to the film, only one of a few that transferred from stage to film. He hid a white bunny in his pocket, so he wasn't being filmed. It was Mark Lister's reaction was being filmed, so behind the camera he pulled a white bunny rabbit out of his pocket, and that reaction from the wee Oliver is what's in the final cut of the film, which is really cool.
Yeah, I love film.
Clever, really clever.
Love it. There's some good facts.
Some good facts. What about memories then? Do you have many memories of it?
So definitely Consider Yourself. I know that routine. I could still do it for you.
You did?
I did,
in this very room.
We would have done little snippets. I have a feeling that I might have played Bet.
And here you are sitting going, I never played
No, but you know what? I think I've just made it up.
I can't remember.
I don't know if I did.
Did you sing that bit and I do anything? Would you lace my shoe?
But I don't think I did it for like a perform. I don't know. Maybe I just auditioned. Never mind. Also, one of my connections. Well, it's not really a connection. It was the first time I heard adults talk about a performance from a child, and it was you.
What?
Yeah. So I remember we had tickets. I wasn't involved in it upstage, downstage, and I remember adults talk about, "Are you going to see it?" And we were going. We usually always went like the last night of things. Mm-hmm. Yes, we're going and such and such. Well, you should see the wee boy that plays the Artful Dodger. He is fantastic.
Oh.
And I remember being like, isn't that to me?
Oh. That's lovely. Normally you throw me under the bus in these podcasts. That's really lovely.
But yeah, so it was actually not that adults talk bad about kids or anything like that, but I just remember actually really going like, oh, and then I was really excited to see you because I'd heard.
And then you were totally let down.
No, definitely not. And I remember seeing you, but I remember that you were a really good Artful Dodger.
And then your other good friend played Oliver. Alison played Oliver. And
I wouldn't have known her
at that time. Yeah, that's it. Well, that's it. I mean, I remember it's probably the first main role I ever played. Was the Artful Dodger, and I just loved it. And like, you did feel really special, like, and they made like a Dodger coat specially for me, and I remember them coming down and fitting me for it, and it was just beautiful, and I still have it like to this day, and it's really lovely to look back at. And then I remember whenever we did it, then within that same year there was like a arts festival or a music festival that just so happened to be being held in Bangor, where loads of like different amateur companies came from all around Ireland. And I have no idea how they did it, because it was like they get in, like they would have got in one person's show during the day. They would have done that show once that night, then they would have taken out their set and brought in the next. And we took part in that, and I just remember the sense of occasion of like sharing our show with people from like across Ireland, which was really, really lovely and special. And you only had one go at it. Do you know what I mean? Which was, so I remember, was it called the Festival of Light Opera or something like that? And it was held in different places on different years, and it just so happened that year was in Bangor. But yeah, so I remember that. And then fast forward, it's one of when I started choreographing and stuff, it's one of those shows that I'm probably most proud of in choreographing, because it was still quite early. I was still quite young. Yeah. Maybe late teens, early 20s. And we did it in a really small, pokey theatre called the Webb Theatre. Which is tiny. Like, it's so tiny. The playing space is so tiny. But I like remember really loving working on it, working with the kids, especially the Den kids, who have like, basically they're on stage for 30 minutes. Like, they just go from, Pick a Pocket into It's a Fine Life into I'd Do Anything into Be Back Soon. So, and I just remember that chunk. Yeah. Like, just having a ball working with them and being really proud of what we established.
There's the dog.
There's the dog, who wasn't in Oliver, but is now rattling around the place. Do you remember that TV programme they did based on Oliver?
Do I? I have just spent the last 24 hours watching it from start to finish.
You did not?
It's all on YouTube. So obviously we researched. And then I was like, I wonder, is there any little snippets on? Because we know people that were in that.
But there was at least 2 local girls that were in it. And it was like it was on the BBC. So it was, and that's one of the big TV channels here. So, I found it on YouTube and watched the whole thing. And I still love it. I loved all of those shows anyway. But I recommend anybody to rewatch it. Yeah. I wonder if they rewatch it back, because I think that one in particular, like they did a few, didn't they? They did a Find a Joseph, they Find a Maria for Sound of Music, then they did a Nancy one,
and then they did Dorothy,
and then they did a Dorothy
one. It's coming back though.
Yes, they're doing although I think it's ITV this time. Okay, and they're trying to find leading male and female for Mamma Mia, I think. Oh, okay. They're trying to find a Sky and Sophie. Oh, okay. For Mamma Mia, yeah. Very good.
No, it's great. It's really good. Yeah. But loads of really fantastically talented people have come from that.
Like Samantha Barks, who is now Elsa in Frozen. Yeah. Came from there. Like her, I think, did she come third maybe?
She came third, yeah.
And like she has like had like such a career since, She did. Jodie Prenger is touring as Miss Hannigan in the Annie tour that's coming.
Coronation Street, and she was in like Tell Me on a Sunday, and then we have Jessie Buckley, who is fantastic. Just been nominated for an Oscar and won an Olivier for Cabaret.
Yeah, and she was my winner. She didn't win, but she was my winner. Was
second.
And then who else? Rachel Tucker, who's a Belfast girl who was then like Elphaba in like Wicked. in London and then went to Broadway and has done Come From Away and stuff like it. Of all those programs, it seems to be the most successful.
And then we have
Neve Perry.
We went to stage school with.
Banger Girl, who was in the original cast of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Love Never Dies.
And then Mamma Mia, and she's currently in
Harry Potter, It's so cool, isn't it?
I know, and actually, whenever obviously, whenever you watch something, well, I do, I get a wee bit obsessed with it, so I wanted to know what some of the girls had gone on to do, and the girl Sarah then ended up being one of the flower selling girls, and then she was the understudy, but she goes out like 4th or 5th or something like that, and it's just really interesting that she ends up being the understudy and not number 2 or number 3.
Well, that's it. Like, if you think of American Idol, like Jennifer Hudson, I think in her series of American Idol came 7th, and she's got an EGOT, you know, like an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony, like.
I know, it's class.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, no, I watch it. It's all on YouTube.
I love that you've watched it from start to finish.
I know. But you know what? It was really good to see there was a real passion for musical theatre, because they were also looking for the Olivers too.
That's right.
So all the different tasks and everything. Some people really don't like those type of shows. Yeah. But I did. I found it really entertaining, so it was fun. Yeah,
that's a job I would love to do. I would love to be like a resident choreographer on like kiddie shows. Like, really? I'd love to be in charge of the kids and keeping, you know, their performances fresh and teaching, you know, new groups who are coming into the show, teaching them the show, you know, their routines and stuff. So like working on like an Oliver or a Matilda, I would love that. I think that's like my dream job, I think.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it would probably get a bit monotonous.
Probably not, because the cast changes so much, and then they have so many rehearsals in case somebody's sick or somebody's out and, you know, day off. And,
yeah, that's true.
You know, so probably.
Although saying that, this production of Oliver that I've just done is, I think, my like 8th or 9th one.
Oh, really?
I was like, oh my goodness, again, we're doing it again.
But did you not find with Oliver it's not as bad as Annie? Or do you
give me an Oliver over an Annie any day, like 100%. Like, and actually, doing this project recently, I realised, I still haven't done an Oliver in school. And like, it is a great one to do. Yeah. It is a great... So I might bite the bullet and do it like a 10th time in a couple of years' time as a school show, because it is really good. Like, there's loads for the kids to do, and the kids enjoy it. Yeah. Like, they love being naughty and wee pickpockets and, you know. But yeah. Yeah.
So no, that's good. I also learned how to, I forgot to say, roll my R's because of reviewing the situation.
I'm reviewing.
Yeah. And... see, in that song, at the very beginning, do you not think it sounds like Canaan Days?
It's because it's a violin solo, isn't it? It is.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's not.
It definitely is. I've just done
it. No, I know it might be, but that's not why it reminds me of Canaan Days. So
what is it? I'm trying to find the similarity.
The way it starts. Go and listen to it and, like, have it on, but don't think that it's reviewing the situation. Does that make sense?
I've just listened to these songs non-stop for the last
Maybe
2
it
weeks.
Is a violin.
And you're asking me... No, it's not that. And you're asking me to go away and listen to it again?
No, definitely at the beginning where it's like... Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Do you know what I mean?
Those
you know what I
mean? Yes. Da, da, da. Okay, I'll go and listen to it.
Okay. I'm pretty sure. Well, to me, I was like, that's right. Okay, it might just be for me. But yeah.
No, I will go and listen to it. But I do think there's like a violin in Canaan Days as well, isn't there? Because it's all like Frenchy and...
Yeah, maybe it is. But anyway, I just always think the beginning of that. I feel like I should be going into Canaan Days, but it doesn't. It's very different. It's just maybe like a couple of beats.
That song's like an actor's dream, isn't it? It's like a soliloquy. It's just him on the stage.
What did you think of Rowan Atkinson? Just obviously cast recording? Or
okay.
Yeah, I thought... I can never say his name. Is it Omar?
Omar, yes.
Yes, I thought he was really good.
Yeah.
So he took over from him, didn't he?
He took over after, that was the latest Drury Lane revival, isn't it? That Rowan Atkinson was in. Yeah.
That one. Yeah. Anything else?
Any stand ovations?
Yeah, I think just Fagin. To play it, but to get the audience liking you at the same time is a task in itself.
Yeah. Do you know, I agree, he's a really complex character, isn't he? Because he has to play both sides. Like, he is a crook, and he is a villain. And then I had a moment of realisation. This is a bit embarrassing that I'm even sharing this. During this production that I've just done, Fagin puts the hit out for Nancy.
Yeah, because he gets scared, doesn't he?
Yeah, so basically their cover's been blown because Oliver gets caught on his first pickpocketing outing and ends up in the Brownlow household, which turns out to be his grandfather. He doesn't know that because that's the pocket he picked. And then basically they're worried about what Oliver will have said and that he'll have blown all of their cover. But so then basically Nancy is bullied into snatching him back again and bringing him back. So when Oliver comes back to the den, basically there's a bit of a conflict between Nancy, Bill Sykes and Fagin. And Fagin says, you basically look after her, Bill. But it's you need to get rid of her, Bill, before she opens her trap, because I think she threatens to squeal on the whole lot of them. But I didn't realise that. And then so Bill Sykes kills Nancy. Yeah. Like, plot twist, in case any of you didn't know. And then he comes back with Oliver, and Fagin's like, you brought him back here. What are you doing? And then he says, is it done? And I didn't realise that Fagin actually, I just thought Bill Sykes murders Nancy because it's Bill Sykes and that's him. He's horrible. Even though he's supposed to love her, but he doesn't love her. She loves him. But it was Fagin, and it was only watching it, I turned to Bex and I was like, is it Fagin that tells Bill to kill Nancy? And I was completely shocked.
See, constantly learning. Constantly
learning. Although there's loads of musical theatre fans that'll be listening to that going, you're really stupid, Tim, that you didn't pick up on that.
It probably just depends on how somebody plays it.
Yeah, true.
And how you interpret it.
Nancy's my standing ovation.
Yeah. Though, do you agree that people say Fine Life is her anthem rather than I Do Anything?
Rubbish.
Yeah, I don't.
Her anthem is neither of those. It's As Long As He Needs Me.
Oh, yes.
Oh, did you say the wrong one? Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
I have I Do Anything because I wanted to talk about the show, which is called I Do Anything.
Yeah, no, her anthem is As Long As He Needs Me. And if the actress does it properly, it rips your heart out, throws it on the floor, and you stamp on it several times. It's brilliant.
And I think from rewatching that show, it was amazing to see how people could play it so differently.
That's it.
Because you can play it very, and then do the big belters and whatever, but it's those moments where you feel that hurt and that angst.
Well, that's it. Because she is a tart with a heart. Yeah. Like, she is a prostitute. Yeah. That's her. Yeah. That's her character. Yeah. That's what she does to get the money in. Do you know what I mean? But she has a heart, like.
Yeah. So. Aww. No. Anything else?
No. Not really. And I'm now going, I don't remember what the next musical is, to give a clue.
No, and you know what, I don't either, but...
Hold on, I'll have a wee look here. Look how prepared we are. We're getting... You would think after... I can't remember what episode it is. 18 episodes, we'd know what we're at now. Ooh.
I mean, you could give a clue for a musical, and we could just...
Just do it.
Just do it.
Oh, so you're giving me free rein here. That's dangerous. Okay, I'm gonna put myself out here on a limb. We're gonna be jumping over the moon.
Jumping over the moon?
Only thing to do is jump over the moon.
Yeah, I haven't a clue, so...
It'll be really, really good musical theatre fans that'll get that clue.
Okay. And I will look forward.
Lauren is completely clueless.
I am completely clueless. I can think of something, but then I'm like, I'm probably in the wrong direction. So I'll just stop.
Okay. Do you want another one or leave it at that?
Let's leave it at that.
Okay.
We're all good. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah. See you next week.
Yeah.
After our hollybobs.
Yeah.
Well, mine anyway.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.